in coming from Corona, which can be positive, but not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Carsten. Just
brilliant.
one very last question. Just talking about, we're investors in Rentokil. I've just sort of, they've been talking recently about expanding their washroom and hygiene business back into some of the old markets that they were in previously. Obviously, that the terms of the JV are now ended, so it allows them to go back into some of those markets. What do you think their sort of potential for success is, or is it an extremely competitive market to try to go back into, or do you think the fact that it wasn't that long ago that they were there and they still have a lot of contacts, probably people who might be keen to work for them again, might be a positive for them? I'm just wondering how you would see that opportunity if there is one for Rentokil.
For Rentokil, starting from scratch, no chance. They can only start by buying significant market share to start from. I would say in the big countries, the market is already. They're the players in the market, even the former Rentokil companies. So it can only be a buy and build strategy. Nothing else would work. Starting from scratch by putting a sales force, I would say it's no chance. No chance. Certainly, you would think they have the expertise certainly somehow still left in there, and no, I would say no, not in countries like Middle Europe or whatever. No, I think it would be very dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And just lastly, I mean, we will speak to Elise again, in the coming months. What would you say the main questions would be to ask them to try to understand their strategy a bit better and to get the most out of the conversations?
I would ask him about their strategies about top line. So talking to everybody and mentioning the 2 to 3%, that's crap. 2 to 3% is crap. That's an easy target. So I think a company like that should have much more stretch a company of that size with the profitability they are talking or they pretending to have, whatever, should spend much more money in developing the market. You should ask about new services, about not about products, about services, about their value proposition. Ask them about the top line. Ask them about sales, customer service. Ask them about retention rates, what they want to do to decrease or increase the retention rate. Talk to them about top line. Managing the costs of a laundry. It's not easy, certainly not easy, but it's much easier to develop the top line. And don't believe if they tell 2 to 3% is outstanding performance. No, it's not an outstanding performance. As a lump sum, certainly, but the workwear, industrial workwear part should grow nearly or close to double digits. So then and they should ask them what they are planning about the hotel business, if they're planning to disinvest in certain areas. Again, hotel and hospital services, low margin business, and it will remain to be a low margin business because of the pressure on prices. Their strategy is, if I'm the number one in the country, I can set the price. Then ask them about the price development in France, which is not going up. It's going down. Being number one in such a market is not a strategy. It's a target to be number one, but what comes out of it? So ask them about top line, about innovations, about